Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. I want to talk to you a little bit about what it means to have a goal, an outcome that you desire, a destination that you truly want. My mentor, Bob Proctor, talked about having a purpose in life. Purpose is why you're here. You want to discover your purpose, but sometimes it feels like your purpose discovers you as you're going through life, as you're finding out what you want, what you don't want, what you prefer, what you would love, what brings you joy and happiness. And then you want to have a vision. A vision is the mental picture of your purpose expressed through your life. Vision is the what. What do you really want? And then setting a goal allows you to bring it into reality, into life, into your experience. So if purpose is the why that you're here, vision is the what, and your goal is the how it's going to be accomplished, how you're going to have that beautiful vision and create or fulfill the purpose for your life. When you have a clear vision of where you're going, what it looks like, what it feels like, what what you're going to be doing, who you are now that the goal has been accomplished, you're living your purpose, you're living in your vision. When you get clear on all that, your goals become obvious. One of my mentors says, when your purpose, vision, and goals are all aligned, that's when your life is at its best. And everything feels off track when your purpose, vision, and goals are not aligned. And it feels off track because you're not walking the path that you want, that you're meant to be. You're not following your purpose. You're not listening to your inner guidance system. So I want you to just sit back for a moment and imagine some of the things that you really want. Have you found your purpose? Do you know why you're here? What makes you excited for the day, fills you with contentment and joy when you're doing something you know you're meant for that? Whether it's looking after children, running a marathon, leading a group, teaching, are you living your purpose? Are you feeling fulfilled? If you're just working, that's no fun. You're just in the grind of making money so that you can live day to day, and that's more like survival mode. If you had all the money that you wanted and you didn't have to worry about paying bills, you didn't have to worry about what things cost, you didn't have to worry about what other people are going to say about you, what would you be doing? You didn't have to worry, am I in the right place? You just feel it. You just know it. You're guided by an unseen hand. What do you really want? Let's start with, what are you grateful for in 2025? What are you genuinely proud of that you accomplished in the year 2025? grab a pen and paper and write down, what did you do that you're really proud of? What goals did you accomplish that allowed you to be happy, be grateful? What did you accomplish that took courage? It took persistence. It raised your level of confidence. Who did you have an impact on this past year in 2025? When you think about some of the things that you accomplished, some breakthroughs, awarenesses, aha moments, accomplishments, because of 2025, well, what did 2025 teach you about yourself? And because of what you went through in 2025, because of what you went through, what are you capable of? Write down, because of this, I know I am capable of. You've grown to a new level. You've done things that an older version of yourself would have refused to do. What did you do that you're proud of and you know you can go to the next level? Freedom lies in being bold. What bold steps, what thing did you do? What's something you accomplished that you're really proud of or grateful for? Now I want to talk to you about 2026, this year. Imagine pretend that it is December 31st, 2026. You have a purpose, you had written out a vision, you had set some goals. There's something more you want to accomplish. You're finding yourself calm under pressure. You're more confident, courageous. You don't care what other people think because you've got a beautiful idea. There's something more that you want to do, something more you want to be, something more you want to have. Bob Proctor would say goal setting is the essence of life. And to do these things not for external praise, but for the inward reward, going after what you really want, accomplishing it, breaking through old barriers, letting go of old beliefs, finding your purpose, setting a vision, and going after it with everything you have makes you a better person, a better parent, a better professional. It's important to be constantly growing. There are periods of time where you want to just sit still and imagine the best version of you, the best version of your life, and allow yourself to get into a state of being tranquil, creative, at ease, having a feeling of well-being flow through you. Imagine you have a purpose this year. You're going after something that you really want. You have to be braver than you've ever been. You have to do things you've never done. And it's December 31st, and you're reviewing what you accomplished this year. The trips you've taken, the way you've affected your family, your community, your income. This is the best year you've ever lived. Close your eyes and imagine if you're somewhere safe where you can close your eyes, what did you accomplish this year in 2026? What made 2026 so incredible? My mentor tells me that when you believe in the incredible, it becomes inevitable. Your body, your mind, your actions all must be aligned with that incredible picture, that feeling, that wish fulfilled. You're healthy, happy, fit, strong. Your income is flowing. Your love life is fantastic. You've been on the trip that you always wanted to go on. Whatever it is, close your eyes and imagine it's December 31st, 2026. This year is complete and it was incredible. With your eyes closed, what made 2026 incredible? Let's try another exercise. maybe on another sheet of paper, in your beautiful journal. What is something that made 2026 incredible? What did you accomplish? You're so proud of. Pretend it's December 31st, 2026, and you can write down, this year was incredible because I am so proud. What are you genuinely proud of that you accomplished in 2026? Tell me how your life has changed now that this beautiful, incredible year has come true. Your vision, when your vision is clear, your goals become obvious. When your purpose, vision, and goals are all aligned, you can live your best life. Write out a vision for 2026. And what made this year the most beautiful, the most incredible, the most successful, the best year of your life so far? I'm going to read some things that might inspire you when Bob Proctor talks about goals being the essence of life. He says, do you sometimes find life a little dull or perhaps boring? Life can be an exciting adventure, but you must make the excitement. Discover the adventure. Do you know we live in a world that is governed by the law of cause and effect? You want something different, you have to put out different energy. You have to shift your thinking. You have to get into the feeling of it already accomplished and go after that beautiful life. Bob Proctor had friends, Stan and Chris Rasmussen, and Chris sent Bob Proctor an article about the late John Goddard, which was in the Desert News. Bob says, I doubt if Goddard had a dull or boring moment in his life. You know, he would also tell us that everyone has 24 hours a day. Everyone has the same amount of time in the day. Where are you directing your energy? How are you using your time? When John Goddard was 15 years old, he listed 127 challenging goals, which he tenaciously pursued. Among his challenges, he listed exploring the Nile, the world's largest river, and the Congo, the second largest, climbing Mount Everest as well as the Matterhorn in a raging blizzard, running a 5-minute mile, and playing Clair de Lune on the piano. And he fulfilled all of those goals. At the time that this article was written, John Goddard had accomplished 108 of those original 127 challenging goals. But he had a new goal that wasn't on the original list. He was flying the sleek supersonic B-1 bomber, the US Air Force's most advanced plane. That plane can fly at supersonic speeds unnoticed under a radar blanket. Goddard made the flight on November 3rd, 1989 in Abilene, Texas, after gaining approval from the Secretary of the Air Force. So people would say, well, it's impossible. You're never going to fly on the supersonic B-1 bomber that belongs to the Air Force. You're never going to do that. Well, he did it, and he had already flown 47 different types of aircraft including the F-4 Phantom, F-11 fighter bombers, and the F-106 Delta Dart. He didn't even have that on his original list at 15 years old. Goddard climbed 12 of the world's highest mountains. He conducted 14 major expeditions into remote regions. He traversed 15 of the world's most treacherous rivers, visited 120 countries, and he studied 260 primitive tribes. What are you doing in your life? What are you doing that's fulfilling you? What would you love to accomplish that you've talked yourself out of because you couldn't figure out how? The how doesn't matter. First, you decide on what you really want and why you want it. And then the how shows up. It's as if by magic, you set a goal, you start moving in that direction, and all the resources, everything you need, shows up to make it happen. Once you believe that you're capable, it's possible. Goal setting is the essence of life. You want to do these things for the inner reward, not for external praise or what anybody else thinks or cares. It makes you a better person, a better parent, a better professional. It's important to keep growing. Bob Proctor always taught to write your goal on a goal card. He says, when you write it down on a piece of paper, you might laminate that paper, you might carry around a piece of paper in your pocket, a goal card in your pocket, in your purse. So when you reach in, you touch it, and that sends a message to your brain. Your neural network is connected, and you remind yourself, this is where I'm going. This is what I really want. He would hand out cards in seminars that said, my goal, let's do this, my goal, December 31st, 2026. I am so happy and grateful now that I am, I have, I've accomplished this, whatever, however you want to word it. Whatever you write on the card, you will ultimately get if you continue to carry and read the goal card, because you get into that vibrational energy of it's already done. This is mine. I know it. You're at ease. You anticipate, you expect it to happen. And then ideas flow. You start taking action on those ideas. You create a new cause, and the universe creates a reaction, a result, an effect. You are the cause and the effect of everything in your life. So if you really want something different, write it down. Research indicates that only about 13% of people have clearly defined goals, and that means 87% have no clearly defined direction in life, just going for whatever shows up. Only 3% have their goal in writing, but the 3% that have their goal in writing lead meaningful, exciting lives. They enjoy the highest incomes. They go after what they want and they get it. Bob Proctor says he began carrying a card in his pocket with his goal written on it back in 1961. he found that it works like unadulterated magic. You might think that having a goal card that you carry around with you might be a cute idea, but it's extremely effective. What do you seriously want? If you know, try writing it on a card and carrying it with you. The results will amaze and delight you. Practice. What do you want? Do something today that will make sure it becomes your reality. As Henry David Thoreau said, if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with success unexpected in common hours. Whatever you want to do, be, or have, make up your mind this very instant that you will accomplish it. Absolutely refuse to wait another day to begin working toward your goal. Forget about waiting until the circumstances are favorable. Start right now. Begin by making a clearly defined written statement of your goal. Whatever you wrote on your page, what made 2026 incredible? Write out your vision. And then what is one thing that you're going to do? Write your goal on a card and carry it with you. Read it many times throughout the day. Might sound silly, but the people that Bob Proctor suggested they write their goal 100 times a day, they are the most fulfilled human beings. They've accomplished goals like Goddard did, hundreds of goals, thousands of goal cards brought into physical reality. Our goals can only be reached through a vehicle of a plan in which we must fervently believe and upon which we must vigorously act. There is no other route to success. People with goals succeed because they know where they're going. It's December 31st, 2026. What was so incredible this year? It's as simple as that. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Create a wonderful day. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. Thank you.